right, good evening and welcome to Inside Kotoko. Inkumsah. My monitor say Obed network there. Me sure say Inkumsah on TikTok, Inkumsah on a foreign channel. Nena all making a debut. Had the end na net here. Inkumsah was Sumpa FM. Sumpa Kumase. Na me say netadi for no more be beto beto home up frefro.
Oh really?
Tadi there.
Yeah.
Sky. Obi Inkumsah. The money man. Odds na be fie ha nyina na. The money man adawrba. Disco. Kumsah.
Bema.
Kotoko game no. Yeah. Me no wan share.
Sure.
Na o twema adwen senior ma bi so and I'm saying no Inkumsah. You are so church man for because the kind of things that you were talking about behind the scenes was massive. So you're going to discuss Kotoko Gold Stars and the top 4 na Ankasa. My Kotoko diebe mo amope Kotoko diebe nsabeka. Inkumsah?
Yeah.
2-1 defeat.
Yes, it was one result. Me and Opena me expect to say between me.
Now, but I expect to say.
No, pay The reason I may expect to say between me say. My head BBN Gold Stars the season under review, and when we're season under review now, BBN Gold Stars are the current champions of the Ghana Premier League.
Exactly.
But amount for fee say a fluke. It is never fluke. And one goalkeeper no them say Emmanuel Kobe, goalkeeper. Only from Paul Manson Juma at Buffa. So relationship no solid. Now we're at the back line now. Most of the guys, boys are on your Juma at Buffa. And the additions I will make it are boys from All Stars near the idea. These are the guys who are added to the team. That is BBN Gold Stars. Now, Oba Nimfin, that is the middle. Somebody like that is Obed say Isaac Ajete. Isaac Ajete no, when him say Yankana Sembebre, but in terms of ball control, any shield no, or you will be a yard ye pa. Kotoko wine. Adabo and Seth Kojo. Now, people were talking about whether Hilary Adabo no bet me I a protector of the back line. Yes, bet me I a protector. Because when our officer Matex joining us, a lot was expected of Hilary Adabo. And on a sense, me against a crowd of folk in the President's Cup, I was very impressed with the outputs. The outputs are Ogivi out. Unfortunately, my monetary be in the game against Kaiser Chiefs. Okay. But then and the game no crown. I said we who papa, we who see. But let's if we say with time. The understanding between and also the bond between Seth Kojo and the Adabo will come time. You see, football there are departments are air communication. The midfield said a team a ball that is 2 focal points. I say 2 midfield shielder. There should be understanding. When him say where you could anymore jina, where jina to join the attack. And when we are joining the attack, of course that is in transitions, I see when to come back and defend together. And see that is one missing piece. I think between Seth Kojo and Hilary Adabo. Now in attack, Albert Samu on the white, Saka Dauda on the white. Any that is Kwame Poku at the center. Kwame Poku actually say in terms of efficiency, or very efficient, very potent. Say Yambo born in Tuatsinem on Miapa. But Albert Samu no a workaholic. So we studying very well. When he or strike here, on him born no ball in him go nishe. But then in terms of potency, Yabaka Kwame Poku a bit ahead of Albert Samoa in terms of Yanfa Bono and Tuatsinem. That was why earlier no report be say Coach Karim Zito Obed Obenya, the former player that is John Entry to Asante Kotoko. Men and say because John Entry is vintage, he's wine, and the older he gets, the better he becomes. How old is he? 33. 33 in our field, John Entry or Bobo and Cry, he looks still very young. That is useful exuberance, It's John Entry at least or buyer the competition. That is Kwame Poku. Again, over bring leadership from the bench because Dreams FC, the master stroke, a trick Edema Dreams FC in reaching the Confederations Cup semi-final na yeninda said dreams ebe do hono. It was John Entry's trick. Because John, that is Karim Zito, the body, or any ba. And the relationship between Karim Zito and John Entry, no, as a father and son. Into no, and John is that humble dude, very humble, down to earth. Into the John also, in the Kotoko team, we won't play about pressing John Entry. Into John the bar, most of the players will look up to John Entry. Because ono a leader no is down to earth. So how much more those now? Seven previous are afi no mobile brano. Into John the buyer and at least ebe page most of the lads, you know, when like or joining us and and who was one of the positive and memere sanka ebesi was Santiago. Say in close the transfer window. No? I think it will be closed on Monday. Yeah. Into the area, we don't know what will happen.
But looking at the game itself, let's start from the goalkeeping department. Kamara. Conceding 2 goals, picking a yellow card. Already shared the last major game at KOTOKP, which was against Kaizer Chiefs, so save 4 penalties. How do you analyze Kamara? You're starting free home.
Yeah, Kaizer Chiefs, the confidence in the building when within the game, Kaizer Chiefs in your penalty essay. And one, it is a global stage. Into no, it is make or break. Into no, there was some sort of intrinsic motivation be for Kamara and now Oputi up that performance against Kaizer Chiefs. Now this is the top 4. Top 4 we know a precursor to the season. We know a prep to the Ghana Premier League and again the African campaign. And then they know clearly no the number 1 for Asante Kotoko goalkeeper Mohamed Kamara. Me pen goalkeeping prowess and again me pen the confident levels are sometimes so the goal post no more but no constantly he was caught off guard. Because constantly, anytime I walk off for tackle, Biano, or we are able to say, or Kasa, answer go posting him. Into go now, Ansu, where the own go that Ansu was saying, he was caught off guard. Though, you may blame me, Ansu, so much. But on no Kamara, so was caught off guard. So Kamara was alert to it, and the problem in Genius of ABC. Though, you nimpase. Communication and yejuma because answer shout say yeah so possible and be alert but these are instances as a top goalkeeper for Asante Kotoko you don't need to be told say may possible and answer why alert that is one thing and you say you blame me a brand friend answer for the goal
okay but do you think sir I see a share the key person before a decision will be taken, or still he should be the number 1.
I think there is Dari there.
Yeah,
Aziz. Yes, Aziz Dari, and at least with time. You see, I always believe in this. When there is no competition, Emma a breedy swollen head, Emma trimudebi eba because Kamara who say only competition constantly so or ye on him cross or ye mistake a bad then say ye between it was I think Felix Annan time and a goalkeeper Kwame on a Kwame look at and Dalad Ibrahim look at the competition a crowd to folk time James Samia J James Nano any a Bendida into the one himself Samia J now all the time when give you a gamer you will be relegated to the bench into no competition so it's about time I say coach Karim Zito Obed trying hands on Aziz Dari because Aziz Dari actually with Brekum Chelsea Bechem United into with Bechem United now watch this is Asante Kotoko at least giving the confident levels at least I saw upbuilding the confident levels maybe just maybe there is something in him Obed to me add to Asante Kotoko because one season a year the season is a marathon season you have the Premier League in Ghana the FA Cup and there is the African campaign that is the Confederations Cup into the competition every year for goalkeeper friend Kamara.
Now let's look at the Kotoko defense also conceding 2 goals. Patrick Esiedu on the left, Shaibu new player on the right, Samba and Henry Ansu, and the most pressure kwa Ansu so far. How do you see the Kotoko defense?
Ansu, the problem they say, I say bono and the chain or defend it. That is one thing I'm realizing in this game. You see, penalty now, Kotoko a concede. When I can say Oko for that tackle,
the first ball was
player can say Oko for the tackle was Ansu, but Ansu was caught off guard. Into Sambo now was going to cover up. Now Okreti saw penalty. That is one thing. Into penalty, no blame me Henry Ansu for the penalty. Now right back and the left back, Patrick Esiedu, I've heard a lot about him, Mariana Kakra, but I wasn't too impressed in this game against that is BBN Gold Stars. And Shaibono, I think that with time, confidence will build up for Asante Kotoko. And the first season.
Yeah,
and,
first game.
in the first game crowd for Asante Kotoko. So, Yemen benefits of the doubt because it is the first time we share the Pokupan JC. It's Yemen benefits of the doubt.
Now, the midfield of Adabo, could you certain, Emmanuel Lynch? Earlier on, you were talking about communication. Seth is a new player. Adabo is a new player. Enchi was there last season. And no nama communication in Bayana, understanding in Bayana.
Telepathy, it takes time to build in football. You see, that telepathetic understanding, no, and your play be or team be more within a blink of an eye. Now, play be super team be more, or even the first season. On coaches system, no, and players on your muye, you not your one say, a bit taking the time and son. Or more jelly together. These are players, me and son. As I feel no more. Into one also, you better more benefits of the doubt. But one thing is that Kumasi as Asante Kotoko, this is a team match is given. So a lot is expected of them. For instance, they won't sit there for result. Me started season, Kotoko first game, second game, third game. So results, 7 previous are meeting the expectations of the fans. They will start calling on the head of Karim Zito. This is Kotoko. Yes. This is Asante Kotoko.
A former player.
There is no time for in Kranibe say Matrama kwe. No. Omo believe you say they say you have more chance. Signings one the signings were overseen by Karim Zito and Teza. Oh no, he oversaw the transfers. Or but team midstream like that is the latter part of last season. Into Oba no behu the weaknesses of Asante Kotoko. And those portals need and they were feeling. Players of this Obed Inkumsah. Players want to minimum they are gone. Samson Eduku is one. He has left the team to BBN Gold Stars. And the player be office on to minimum play needs him. And players of this Obed Inkumsah, the players are now in the team. So meaning say team no there should be say that is Karim Zito the trademark on the team. I say one in sounding Juma on the team. Into the say results now started say by nimia. For Karim Zito.
But the game itself, preseason match, is it really about results?
It depends on the team.
Okay.
The team is result oriented already. And then no Kotoko hats no a brand more bono. So mujina bro science clubs na kena is a mujina. Yes. Into no Kotoko hats no have no room for any different excuse. Woman excuse her no. Fans and the onim the auto idea we doom, the auto idea kejetia, the only man say Kotoko winnie, that's all. And what West Kotoko winnie 1, 2, 3 per room,
yeah.
Economies of scale. As over there be bias so Kumasi. Into the Kotoko fans, no, they don't know about a bay year or wait the man at time. No. How to folk fans don't know about Yemen at time. It was recently crowned a visit a Watara Bubaka, Yaman at time. On the crowd to papa, so assistants, Masudi Dramani take over. So this teams, we result oriented clubs, they don't have room, say more time a bay. They be a bay a year story for the other clubs.
But Kotoko has found new players in Gubza or found new players. Most of the guys that came from the bench, new guys. We will talk about them later. But any team building at Kotoko and team building in your time.
That is why leadership of the team should let the fans understand. Say, you see, communication is key.
Okay.
You have to go to the fans, go down their level, let them understand. Say, this is the situation on the ground.
Okay, so you have to set the target.
And Karim Zito cry in the next 2 years.
That is what we should do.
Just like what Liverpool did with Jurgen Klopp. Our results in the bar later. Jurgen Klopp before 2016. 2019 answer. Or started so winning trophies. How many years? 3 years. But Kotoko, in some level, no. You can do that. But this time, I said, fans, did you mutrimu? Say, Ubape, I say, Harry Potter, would be a brand now, I said, and they are brunene, if that is the problem with Asante Kotoko.
So the management have to set the target.
They have to go down to the level of the supporters.
If they realize yes, team a building there,
yes,
they set the target and communicate it to the fans.
Yes, because telepathy doesn't come at once. It may take time and suppliers more jelly. And they are coming from different backgrounds and different philosophies altogether. Because and they say of Brekum Chelsea neighbor, of Mediama neighbor. The philosophies at those clubs are not the same. It's a bit take you more time. Maybe he's coming from a philosophy F433. Maybe he's coming from a philosophy F4231. It's a bit taking a time answer what he has here. And then look at Emmanuel Enchi. He is playing as the classic number 10 of the team. On that, I say, the rhythm controller of Asante Kotoko. Was his output? A bit taking a time. Answer what bonded with Kwame Poku, Saka Dauda, and Nebra Albert Amwa. Yeah.
So Kotoko biggest problem now. There are a few days to the transfer window. Tell a bit close. Watching today's game, then I won't say a problem. Some market and I say it can be solved with the players.
I still think say Kotoko in here 1 or 2 additions, and 1 or 2 additions, you know. Patrick Airboss right back, right? Airboss left back. Patrick Essiedu, yes, last season me or impressing me very much, but he needs a competition up there.
Francis Akwa.
How well now? Probably you see, this is Asante Kotoko, and yeah about Yamfa Ebeye Yaman a time. Mr. Fans no will not understand. Me no and you will understand me later.
Yeah.
You know what? They say no, the opponents are compete the squad quality and depth. And they some more breakdown of
let's go through. Yeah, let's go.
Some more breakdown of BBN Gold Stars. Now BBN Gold Stars in the middle. And then Omo branch from Isaac Ajeti, Ajeni Watson, Omo Francis Trini, a sign from Bechem United.
Yeah.
Now on the bench in defense, Vincent Atinga is the leader. And then because in the game time now, I say because he's aging. Gas na ewonu is slow, so man managing because there is Africa on the horizon. The CAF Champions League to be precise. Now in defense, Frimpong Manso in his wisdom, what he has done was sign a branch of Michael Nkwan last season. No ball Edema Asekem, a Division 1 club. Now, or sign a branch of friend of Edward Ajiman. Edward Ajiman making us from Vision FC. Vision. Now there is this boy Gideon Anaba from Sefi All Stars. These are guys they are very young and exuberant. And I look at that breathing space. Kotoko attack it look very threatening and frightening. But then they didn't give them that chance to say operate freely. Yeah, more such chance You bet press and you bet how I doing. Yeah, my control ball even in our penalty arc. And look at Emmanuel Kobe. Behind him, look at the goalkeeper so competing. And there should be competition for places. And you see, when some players here looking like untouchables in the team,
should that also join the Kotoko attack? Say untouchables, then Kotoko attack.
Yeah, that is why I'm campaigning. Say, in Kotoko at least that is John Entry, an experienced lad. And yes, a get born over ball, but at least it will bring something extraordinary to the club. Yeah.
How do you see Johnson from the bench? Donzu from the bench.
Donzu, you have Morphin Donzu, right? Men blaming Bebre. Or by at least on your glimpses, on your touches. I think about one shot, but shots in the crown, it wasn't on target because the beginning goal starts defense, most has space, to shoot even at their goalkeeper. And so don't blame him. I think he only needs time and he will adjust. Because in recent times, me hear from Sunye Yakuba time, George Mfege, Steve Dese Mukwala, foreigners number Asante Kotoko, strikers, everybody came and paid his dues. Into me himself with time, Morphin Donzo, Ebenya ever find the rhythm. One, so Obe was a player good, me and your time, and I mean was a player good. Mekai, there are players at moment they stepped in Ghana. The first touch who saw you good. Someone like Sunye Yakuba. Oba Asante Kotoko. How many games now Kotoko fans are falling in love with Sunye Yakuba? Now this Brazilian or joining Asante Kotoko. Gama Fabio. How many games now Kotoko fans are falling in love with? Sometimes if it depended where the player is coming from, where he played, and so Oba Asante Kotoko. These are all factors. The judges a player that can be good in the foreseeable future, and now say in the even in the current state. And so there are a lot of factors befit. But maybe if you say Morphin Donzo only needs time, he will come up.
Wow. But would this competition help us top 4? Looking at from the coaches of opponents and is it a necessary competition?
The best coaches now are assembled at this stage. Frimpong Manso is the current Ghana champion. Masudi Dramani, once upon a time, the assistant of the Black Stars. Now, Karim Zito, he needs no introduction in terms of young Kasa coach Awabo Bra in club football. And then Oko Dreams are in Cinefem. And in our track of events, even with Asante Kotoko, as a player, Mekani days with James Kwesiapia at left back for Asante Kotoko. So compete that is James Kwesiapia for the left back spot. In terms of coaching, Karim Zito is there. Now there is the experienced Bashir Rayford at this competition for Kwando House of Lions, who is also here. And look at Lions team in so Modebano. And the Lions are called Liberia, I sign a player. Chauncey Freeman has joined that expand out of Lions as well. The best of teams now assemble at this stage. Kotoko losing this game to BBN Gold Stars. Yemfa game went to Yem focus you on the Kotoko should focus on the subsequent games against Accra Hearts of Folk and against Expand out of Lions. These are two equal good games. At least bring out the readiness, whether the players are ready for the season, and as a bit take it time and team not jelly.
Should the coach change the squad for the next game?
It depends on results.
Should it be issue of preparation or issue of some person me trophy into my first 11 and some bonus game and as I mean system ebi mumbo na omusunya playing time.
Every game be a World Cup final. Emma Sante Kotoko. Kotoko club. Kotoko no. With this second Kotoko 7 producer. Takramane de wenum na as we carry. We Nambia. We Bobra. As a Brazil World Cup. They will do final. They one or just silver medal. Now we cry airports could be ambitious. You see, that is one thing about Sante Kotoko. Kotoko is the primus inter pares as far as football in Ghana is concerned, whether we like it or yes. In terms of teams, Kotoko what I say. So Kotoko this tournament, that is why we lose. When Arians go to net, look at the demeanor of Coach Karim Zito. Karim Zito, oh, big time say what are my boys doing? And Gordon Ablode is the assistant to Frimpong Manso. Who need demeanor? He's the coach of Gold Stars, but a former Kotoko captain. Who need demeanor? Instead of Kotoko, yes, I said he was like that was what they were telling themselves. Even Frimpong Manso no Krano, he wasn't. He was like, wow, what is happening at Asante Kotoko? So Kotoko every game be a bare final. I don't think there will be much changes in the next game. The next game against Heart of Lions. Against
different level. On farm, the coach should not look at the card.
That is the right way to do things. That is the preseason tournament. There's a prep to the main season. But club no Asante Kotoko. This club should set a standard. Already, club no has set a standard, so they should keep pace with the standards already. With a pace with the standards club now set before.
Let's say, preparation, but I want to say if they should lose the next game, a panic button now, I'm going to press it.
Definitely. So, Lucifer, next game against Kwando House of Lions, the fans rather will put pressure on Coach Efren Karim Zito. Say, Karim, the other players now. Or more bench, so that we'll get to know said this is the right team for the season. Sometimes fans so I will say because Kotoko has something.
Well, but in wrapping up, what do you think? In wrapping up, what's the last
Galka elucine focus over the years. And I a man for arguing course. You see, young kind of crunch. Gone are the days and those were the times. Somewhat in 1999, 98 thereabout and whatsoever. Na tournaments in Ghana and Obia na agenda so like you have started season Obia person qualify the top 4. The Galka top 4. Alaji Karim Gunza ebe popular in Ghana football through this Galka top 4. That's a point okay. Can face a top 4 that can face is not going. Can face that top 4 is not top 4. And Heart of Lions Beji Din Okumenini Okuma Kese through this top 4. Because they were constantly playing against Kotoko Hearts and they were constantly beating Kotoko Hearts. They were doing well against the bigger opposition.
So it was a wonderful competition.
Accolade that is Okumenini Okuma Kese. But now what are we seeing?
The pitch
we see yes, say Adiano Bay Adiano top 6. Okay.
Yeah.
In recent time, Galka Bay Adiano top 6. Into Galka, no maybe problem to say organization is the biggest problem and worry. Tournaments we are organizing. So we had tournaments we part this top 4 way. Yes, standard of play BBI was top. And look at the pitch line they won. Patience on her pitch. Baby, as a baby I yellow, baby I green, baby. Yeah. This is Galka top 4. Galka top 4 of yesterday and Galka top 4 of today, and yet the same. Pano Creso Bakope. Yaka quality. Say Ghana football quality. Yes, in our time, you say football quality not dropping. But what the year comparative analysis in some countries in Africa, your football no, still there is quality in Ghana football.
In terms of how the teams are playing,
there is quality.
You still admire the quality.
Yes.
Who was your best player in today's game?
My best player in today's game, I'll give it to BBN Gold Stars Kobe, Emmanuel Kobe. He was very alert. The sharpness, the agile, ball reading, the confidence levels, and again the athleticism, everything was on point.
And the flop of the match?
Henry Ansu. But so wait, yeah, we can answer your question because at least penalty, no, he had a shout. He was one of the reasons why Sambo Nel ever committed a foul now. Eventually, resulted to penalty. Now the second, the own goal, it was a blunder. I would say it was a blunder.
Basic.
Yes, very, very basic and error. Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is inside Kotoko with Obed. Bono, any Ashemu Kakra, Inkumsah, and I'm an Papa and Simnum. Nyami Armochna, Ediaka Bye bye.